The package arrived at the studio at 7:43 a.m. No return address. No sender name. Just a brown box wrapped in twine. Old-fashioned, like something from another era. Security scanned it. Nothing dangerous. Just paper. Lots of paper. And something else. Something metal. Small. Heavy. When Oprah opened it on stage 2 hours later, thinking it was part of the planned segment on personal artifacts, she found something that would unravel a secret she had buried for 47 years. Inside the box was a manuscript, typed on an old typewriter, yellowed with age. The title page read, "The Truth About Oprah Winfrey," a memoir by someone who knew her before she was famous. Oprah's face went pale. She flipped to the first page. She read the opening line, and her hands began to shake. The opening line said, "When I first met Oprah, she was 19 years old. She was working at a radio station in Nashville. She was brilliant and driven and afraid of everything. But the thing she was most afraid of was the secret she was carrying. The secret I helped her hide. The secret that has haunted both of us ever since." Oprah looked up from the page. Her eyes searched the audience, looking for someone, looking for the person who had sent this. And then she saw her. Row 6, seat 9, an elderly woman, 84 years old, gray hair, calm eyes, watching Oprah with an expression that said, "It is time." The woman rose slowly from her seat. She walked toward the stage, and she spoke the name that Oprah had not heard in 47 years. "Hello, Gail. I think we need to talk about what happened in Nashville." Oprah's microphone slipped from her fingers. It hit the floor with a thud, because this woman had just called her Gail. Her middle name, the name she went by before she became Oprah. The name only a handful of people in the world knew. The name from the life she had buried. How do we get here? Rewind 47 years. Nashville, Tennessee, 1977. Oprah Gail Winfrey was 19 years old. She was working at a local radio station. She was ambitious. She was talented. She was going places. But she was also carrying something. A burden. A weight. Something that threatened to destroy everything before it began. Her name was Dorothy Mae Henderson. She was 36 years old. She worked at the same radio station. Not on air. Behind the scenes. Administrative. Invisible. But she noticed things. She noticed the young woman who came to work every day with fire in her eyes and fear in her heart. She noticed the way Oprah flinched when certain topics came up. She noticed the phone calls Oprah would take in private, coming back with red eyes. She noticed. And one night, she asked. They were alone in the station. Late. Everyone else had gone home. Oprah was sitting at her desk, staring at nothing. Dorothy had approached her. "Whatever it is," she had said, "you do not have to carry it alone." Oprah had looked at her, and something broke. She told Dorothy everything. Everything about her childhood. Everything about the abuse. Everything about the pregnancy at 14. Everything about the baby who had died. Everything she had never told anyone. Dorothy had listened. She had not judged. She had not recoiled. She had simply listened. And then she had said something that changed Oprah's life. "You're going to be someone someday. Someone who helps millions of people. But you cannot do that if you're drowning in this pain. So here is what we are going to do. We are going to write it down. All of it. Every memory. Every wound. Every fear. We're going to put it on paper. And then we're going to put it away. So it does not control you anymore." They had spent 6 months writing together. Every night after the station closed. Page after page. Oprah's story. In her own words. When it was done, Dorothy had taken a manuscript. "Keep it safe," Oprah had said. "But do not let anyone see it. I am not ready. I do not know if I will ever be ready." Dorothy had promised. And for 47 years, she had kept that promise. Until today. Subscribe and leave a comment, because the most powerful part of this story is still ahead. Dorothy climbed the 3 steps to the stage. She moved slowly. Age had taken its toll. But her eyes were sharp. Her mind was clear. She reached Oprah. They faced each other. 47 years of silence between them. "You kept it," Oprah whispered. "All this time." Dorothy nodded. "Every page," she said. "Every word. I never showed it to anyone. I never made a copy. I never even read it again after he finished. I just kept it safe. Like you asked." She paused. "But I am 84 years old now. And I am dying. Cancer. The doctors have given me weeks, and I realized I could not leave this world with your story still locked in a box in my closet. She gestured to the manuscript in Oprah's hands. So I sent it to you, she said, not to expose you, not to hurt you, but to give it back, because it is yours. It has always been yours, and it is time for you to decide what to do with it. Oprah looked at the pages in her hands. 47 years. Her entire journey from Nashville to Chicago to global fame. Her entire transformation from victim to survivor to icon. And all of it documented in these pages. The raw, unfiltered truth of who she was before the world knew her name. Why now? Oprah asked. Why send it to the studio? Why not just mail it to my home? Dorothy smiled slightly. Because you have spent your entire career asking other people to tell their truths on this stage, she said. And I thought it was time for you to face yours. She paused. Not for the audience. Not for ratings. For yourself. To decide, once and for all, whether you are ready to share the full story. Or whether you want to keep it buried. She touched Oprah's arm. I'm not pressuring you either way, she said. The choice is yours. It has always been yours. But I could not die without giving you the choice. Behind the scenes, Oprah made a decision that defied every producer's expectation. She did not put the manuscript aside. She did not promise to read it later. She did not protect herself from what was coming. Instead, she did something that surprised everyone, including herself. She sat down. She opened the manuscript to a random page. And she began to read aloud. Today I'm 18 years old. I have just started working at the radio station. I am supposed to be happy. I am supposed to be grateful. But all I feel is fear. Fear that someone will find out. Fear that my past will catch up with me. Fear that everything I am building will collapse if anyone sees the broken girl underneath. Her voice cracked. She kept reading. I had a nightmare last night. About the baby. About holding him in my arms for those few moments before they took him away. Before he stopped breathing. Before everything ended. I woke up crying. I always wake up crying. The audience was completely silent. Oprah kept reading. Dorothy is the only one who knows. She is the only one I have told. She says writing will help. She says putting the words on paper takes power away from them. I do not know if she is right, but I do not know what else to do. So I write. Oprah looked up. She looked at Dorothy. She looked at the audience. She looked at the cameras. And she made a choice that would define the rest of her legacy. I'm going to read this, she said. All of it. Not the whole manuscript today, but over time. On this stage. To whoever wants to listen. She held up the pages. This is who I was before I was Oprah, she said. This is the 19-year-old girl who was terrified every day. This is the truth I have been telling in pieces for 40 years. But I have never told the whole. I have never told it from the beginning. She looked at Dorothy. And I never thanked the woman who helped me write it, she said. The woman who kept it safe. The woman who gave me the space to put my pain into words without judging me. She stood. She walked to Dorothy. She embraced her. Thank you, she whispered. For 47 years of faithfulness. For keeping my story safe until I was ready to tell it. Dorothy held her back. You were always going to be ready, she said. I just did not know when. Now I do. This is the moment no one in the studio and no one watching at home ever saw coming. Oprah guided Dorothy to the interview chair. The guest who was supposed to appear was quietly escorted to the green room. The planned segment was abandoned. For the next 2 hours, Oprah and Dorothy talked. They talked about Nashville, about the radio station, about the late nights writing together, about what it meant to hold someone's darkest secrets and never betray them. They talked about what had happened since, about watching Oprah rise from local radio to national television to global phenomenon, about the strange experience of knowing someone's most hidden truths while watching them become a symbol of strength for millions. They talked about the manuscript, about what was in it, about what it had meant to write it, about what it might mean to share it, and they talked about dying, about what Dorothy wanted her final weeks to look like, about what she hoped to leave behind, about the peace she had found in returning Oprah's story to its rightful owner. The audience wept. The producers wept. The camera operators wept. Everyone wept, because they were witnessing something rare. Not a performance, a reunion. not entertainment. Sacred truth. Two women who had shared something 47 years ago. Finally able to speak about it openly. Finally able to honor what it meant. Share and subscribe. Make sure this story is never forgotten. The episode that aired was unlike anything in television history. It was not edited for drama. It was not packaged for consumption. It was simply shown. Raw. Unfiltered. True. The response was overwhelming. Millions of people watched. Millions more heard about it. The conversation spread beyond entertainment. It became a cultural moment. A reckoning with the difference between the public personas we create and the private truths we carry. Oprah announced that she would release the manuscript as a book. Not for profit. All proceeds would go to survivors of childhood abuse. The book was called Before I Was Oprah. It was published 6 months later. It became the fastest-selling memoir in history. Not because of marketing, because of truth. People recognized themselves in those pages. The fear, the hiding, the constant worry that who they really are would destroy what they are building. They saw themselves, and they felt less alone. Dorothy Mae Henderson lived long enough to see the book published. She held a copy in her hands. She turned the pages slowly. She read passages she had not seen in 47 years. And she smiled. "We did good," she said to Oprah. 47 years ago, in that radio station. "We did something good." Oprah held her hand. "You did something good," she said. "You listened. You cared. You kept my secret when anyone else would have used it. You gave me the gift of being witnessed without being judged." She paused. That is the most sacred gift one person can give another. Dorothy died 3 weeks later, peacefully, in her sleep, with a book on her nightstand, with Oprah's phone number taped to the wall, with the knowledge that 47 years of faithfulness had meant something. The Dorothy Mae Henderson Foundation was established in her memory. It provides support for people who serve as witnesses for others. Therapists, mentors, counselors, friends. The invisible people who hold space for others' pain, who listen without judgment, who keep secrets safe until they are ready to be told. The foundation has trained over 8,000 listeners in its first 3 years. 8,000 people learning how to witness, how to hold space, how to be Dorothy. Oprah speaks about Dorothy at every opportunity. She tells the story of the radio station, the late nights, the manuscript, the 47-year wait. She says that everyone needs a Dorothy. Someone who sees you at your worst and believes in your best. Someone who knows your secrets and protects them. Someone who waits patiently for you to be ready. And she says something else. She says that being a Dorothy is a sacred calling. That witnessing someone else's truth is one of the most important things a person can do. That listening without judging is an act of profound love. There's one final detail that most people do not know. When Oprah opened the manuscript for the first time, something fell out. A small metal object. Heavy. Old. It was a key. A tiny key. The kind that opens a jewelry box or a diary. There was a note attached to it. In Dorothy's handwriting. It said, "This is the key to the box I kept your manuscript in. For 47 years, only I could open it. Now you can. You have always had the power to unlock your own truth. I was just holding the key until you were ready to take it." Oprah wears that key on a chain around her neck now. Not as jewelry, as a reminder. A reminder that sometimes we are not ready. And that is okay. A reminder that sometimes we need someone else to hold our truth until we are strong enough to carry it ourselves. A reminder that 47 years is not too long to wait. And a reminder that when the time is right, we will know. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss another story like this. Because there are more truths waiting to be unlocked. More manuscripts waiting to be read. More secrets waiting for the right moment. And somewhere out there, someone is holding a key to someone else's story. A key they have been protecting for years. Maybe decades. If that is you, know this. Your faithfulness matters. Your patience is sacred. Your willingness to wait is an act of love. And one day, when the time is right, that key will find its way home. Just like it did for Oprah. Just like it did for Dorothy. Just like it will for you. Hold the key. Protect the truth. Wait for the moment. It will come.